What's up guys, macadii here, and I am very excited to bring you guys the finals of the UAL League Season 1. So if you guys are excited and you're really hyped, don't forget to leave a like down below, I would really appreciate it. What we're going to do, as always, is talk through who we're going to be facing and their team. Then we're going to be talking about the team I'm going to be bringing, and then finally going into the battle. So my opponent is ImPledge, coach of the Shamrock Snovers. That's a bit of a mouthful for me there. But yeah, definitely check out all of his stuff. He's a fantastic battler and has a very spooky squad, which we will now go into. So he has got M.Pinsir, Manaphy, Flygon, Zapdos, Rotom-Wash, Gardevoir, Blaziken, Nidoqueen, Kecleon, Ferrothorn, and Dusclops. So a lot of bulk, lots of spooky things, like Ferrothorn is a great wall to Kyurem B, potentially Scolipede, Diancie, Starmie, stuff like that. My draft struggles a lot with steel types in general. Dusclops can always be a big problem on the defensive side. On the offensive side, of course, we got M.Pinsir. That thing is an absolute beast. Manaphy as well, being able to set up on potential things. Getting that tail glow will be very spooky. Zapdos is another great defensive one, but we have things like Kyurem B, but it does check like Scolipede and stuff like that. Rotom-Wash is always a pain, but luckily our main guy to go from here is going to be Kyurem B, because Kyurem B hits everything like an absolute truck. We've got it's a special Kyurem B with Fusion Bolts, because Fusion Bolt allows us to hit the Manaphy very hard, and we've got Earth Power, Ice Beam, because that hits pretty much everything very hard outside of, I guess, the Ferrothorns, takes a decent chunk, but nothing more, it can still live it. Because we got Terra Volt, we can take on the Rotom-Wash with the Earth Power, which is nice. Fusion Bolt allows us to check Manaphy and all of that good stuff, and we are speed crept to be able to outspeed Gardevoir. I considered outspeeding Rotom-Wash, but I didn't think Rotom was going to come, just because I've got things like Kyurem that's pressure it. Scolipede does like 2 KOs it if I'm a really offensive Life Orb, and it doesn't really do a whole lot to my squad. Like I have ways to hit it incredibly hard, and it works normally a little bit better against balance rather than offense. So I wasn't sort of expecting that to come, so it means I can outspeed the Gardevoir and below from there. So that's going to be very nice for us. Next up, we got the Scolipede. This is a Cobra Berry Scolipede. So this guy is offensive. He is designed to come in, deal some damage with Mega Horn and Rock Slide and Earthquake, and from there, I'm expecting M.Pinsir to come in, especially if we get slightly worn down, like we come in from rocks or something. Go for that quick attack to take us out. We then live the quick attack because of the Cobra Berry, because it does about 40 to 50%. I think just under 50% with the Cobra Berry. We get that Baton Pass, and then we get basically a slow Baton Pass into Kyurem, which is going to be absolutely beautiful, and potentially start getting a sweep on from there. So that's kind of the plan with Scolipede. Hit hard, bait in M.Pinsir, bait it to go for that quick attack, and then we can go out from there. Next up, we got P2 with a very special spread. This spread is designed that from full, I don't get 2 KO'd by Manaphy Scald unless he burns me the first time, and there's not much I can really do about that. And also, I can live a +2 M.Pinsir's return. So that's going to be very nice for us. He has to run Jolly rather than Adamant, just from how my speeds work and stuff like that. So that's absolutely beautiful. And we have got Ice Beam and Thunderbolt, because he has a team that's relatively weak to Bolt Beam. Toxicon there allows us to put, getting a Toxicon Zapdos is beautiful. Even Rotom-Wash, the Kecleon, the Dusclops and stuff like that. If he's not Rest Talk Dusclops, the Toxic's going to be really useful for that. And that's basically the plan with P2. Be bulky, start wearing down the team early, and then hopefully between Scolipede and Kyurem, start putting the pressure on from there. Next, we got the Diancie. This is our Mega Diancie. I had to run Protect on this guy this time, because I have to make sure I can Mega Up, check the M.Pinsir. Even if he Sword Stance up in my face, I can still take a +2 quick attack like it's nothing, and then basically KO back with Diamond Storm. Diamond Storm hits a lot of things very hard. Let's see, what else? And just a sort of a 56 there, just to add a little bit more bulk. Him Power Fire allows us to hit the Ferrothorn. I'm going to predict the Ferrothorn to come in. Well, I'm not predicting, yeah, I'm predicting it to come. It's definitely going to come with the Ockerberry. That was my sort of thoughts on there. Potentially Ockerberry, but if we can catch it on the switch, burn the Ockerberry, the next turn we could then take it out from there. He hasn't really got any other switches apart from Flygon on this. It is a bit of a risk, because I don't have Moonblast for Flygon, but my plan then was sort of like P2 can take it on. If he goes for Earthquake, like, things can live a hit. Like, Kyurem's surprisingly bulky and stuff like that. If he goes for a Dragon move, then I can go into Diancie. So I can sort of play around it. Protect as well, so if he's choiced, I can find out what he's choiced into and then sort of answer it from there. Next, we got Kecleon, which is going to be our answer to Ferrothorn. So I'm expecting Ferrothorn to come. and I'm expecting it to either pack T-Wave or Leech Seed or something like that. Most likely T-Wave, because that really helps slow down my offense, and especially if I want to baton pass stuff and I've not got sub, then it's going to basically negate any speed boost that I get. So this guy's designed to switch in, guaranteed, you know, with the Lumberry to not get paralyzed and stuff like that. And then what we can do is we can set up a sub, set up a Swords Dance, and basically go to town on a lot of his teams. That's really nice. I've got really great physical bulk, so I can take on M.Pinsir's quick attacks relatively well. Stone Edge and Close Combat hits everything hard, apart from probably the Dusclops, I would say. But I've got things like Kyurem, which I also forgot. I've got enough EVs in HP to be able to produce a sub that then Dusclops can't break, and then I Frikio with Ice Beam. So that was also something that I forgot to mention on there. So yeah, this sub SD set could put in a lot of work, potentially sort of mid to early game, not necessarily just to sweep his entire team, but just soften the team up a bit, break down some of those walls, and sort of put him on the back foot from there. And then finally, we've got the Life Orb Starmie. This guy outspeeds his team as well. That's the thing, I've got lots of things to outspeed his team, so that's going to be very nice for us. With Thunderbolt, Ice Beam, Psychic, and Rapid Spin, with a good amount of HP, good amount of speed, and then finally the rest in Special Attack with Analytics. This guy's going to be punishing switches, and all of that good stuff from there. The main threats, obviously, being M.Pinsir, depending on the set, possibly Blaziken, was what was going through my mind, and definitely Ferrothorn. I knew I had to try and work hard to try and kill that Ferrothorn. So what we're going to do now is move over to the battle, and you can see exactly what went down from there. Okay, so we are at the battle, and as you can see, he has brought the Zapdos, the Ferrothorn, which I knew he was, you know, most likely going to bring. Then we got M.Pinsir, which is M.Pinsir is always very, very scary. And then either one of these I was expecting to be Scarf, either the what's we call it, the Gardevoir there, or it was going to be the Blaziken, and then finally Kecleon. Kecleon was an interesting thing to breed, but to bring. So I did have to think about, you know, what sort of moves it might pack, you know, whether I'm going to be able to take it on, what I need to basically bring in, and then what's its coverage moves, and sort of work that sort of stuff out. So overall, I decided P2 was my best lead. I handled this 1v1, I handled pretty much everything 1v1, even this guy if I needed to, or he would be forced to go for the fighting move and I could switch out. So I figured it was my best lead from here. So we're going to play with the music off. I'm going to lead up with P2 as he leads up with the Gardevoir. Now here, I had a real think about it. I was like, right, what do I want to do here? He's just traced Analytics, so we're on the back foot already turn 1. If I switch out here, something's going to take an Analytic Moonblast, and I don't see anything that really wants to. I could risk the trick here, and it would be unfortunate to get tricked. And so after thinking quite a while about this, I was like, okay, I think I'm best off staying in and throwing a Toxic out here. If he goes into Ferrothorn, that's fine. I've got bait for Ferrothorn, but out comes the Kecleon. So I switch out here, go into Diancie expecting a knockoff, but he goes for Drain Punch, that's fair enough. With the heightened defenses that I've already got, that's fine by me. Unfortunately, now, because he's fighting type, I could potentially kill, but I was thinking he's probably Assault Vest. He doesn't know that I've not got Moonblast, but I can't afford to go for the attack, him then kill me, potentially with an Iron Tail or something like that. And considering Diamond Storm won't even kill him from here, so I was like, I know I've got to protect, even if it baits in Ferrothorn, I've got the, you know, the thing that can set up on that, basically. So I decided just to go for the Protect, see what he's actually going to do. He goes for the Protect here, and he goes to the Iron Tail, so that's good. So we know what, we're starting to work out what coverage he's got here. So now I know he's either going to go for the Iron Tail or another Drain Punch. He goes for a Drain Punch here as I go into Starmie, and I'm just sort of winning this battle a little bit here, because now he is taking a huge amount from Toxic. So now I've got to work out, is he going to Sucker Punch or is he going to knock off? Which one's he going to do? From this range, I know I could potentially kill. So I was like, oh, I don't want to lose Starmie to that though, because Starmie puts in the finest work here. So I was like, okay, P2 is probably my best bet. It is a risk, I must admit, but you know, I think it was worth it. But unfortunately, he does reveal to have knockoff. I didn't know if he had knockoff or Sucker Punch or whether he had both, so it was a bit of a risk. I just throw out a little Ice Beam here, and that's not going to do much to Spiky Mikey. He doesn't show an item, so I'm like, okay, this has got to be Ockerberry. Like, there's no other reason. If you see a Ferrothorn that isn't, I guess maybe Rocky Helmet, but for my team, it wouldn't make too much sense. So he does go for Leech Seed here, unfortunately, rather than the T-Wave, which was a pain. So I had to try and find a way to be able to take that on. So I switch out into P2 here, as he goes back into Chameleon God. I'm fine by this. I try and kill the Ice Beam, but he is, like, super bulky Assault Vest. And he's going to Drain Punch, get a whole load of HP back, but that's fine. P2 can take this guy on. I can now, it sounds terrible, but I can just recover stall here. And he's going to get loads of HP back, but the Toxic's slowly going to wear him down. And he can either bring something in, or, you know, he's going to have to basically try and do some damage to me and then let himself go down to Toxic. Either way, I'm very, very happy taking out this guy. While he's only a very low tier, thing, he's actually quite a big annoyance to my team, especially when I don't know what his final move is, and it could be Sucker Punch. So I thought, let's just be a bit stally here with Porygon, let him go down here, and that puts us in a much better position. Out comes Blaziken here, and I unfortunately don't have a very reliable switch to this, and I was like, I don't know what sort of set this is, I need to find out. P2's kind of not done a huge amount, but without the Eviolite, it's not as useful to me. Like, I died to a M.Pinsir return, Gardevoir is going to hit me hard, and stuff like that, so it was difficult for me to justify switching out, and potentially, having a lot of damage taken to something just to save P2. So I let P2 go down here. I go into Starmie. I know even if he is Scarf, I can still outspeed. I just go for a Psychic here, doing a tiny, chip bit of damage here. Now this is where I decide to be a bit cheeky. I actually stay in. I was tempted by the Psychic, but I did just go for Ice Beam there. So that's unfortunate. Now, this was a point where I was really dumb. I looked at the moves and I was like, okay, he's either going to be going for Thunder Punch or he's going to be going for Knockoff. Or something like that, and then it just didn't click in my head that I could just switch into Macadii here. I was just too terrified, and it was a really dumb play on my part, so I decided here to stay in as he goes to Knockoff. So that's very, very unfortunate for me. I could have also gone into my Kecleon, but I was just too obsessed with trying to keep that healthy, which is a really big sort of mistake on my part. So I can go into Kecleon here, basically set up a sub, which is great, and now I can get that SD going. And even if I just break one or two things, it's going to help me a lot. So he goes for Discharge here, and I'm like, oh goodness, I'm going to have to hopefully kill. We don't kill, he's max defense, and please don't power, and we don't get powered. So that is absolutely beautiful, and a CC is going to blow him back from here. Now we're coming up to a point where I made another mistake, which these two mistakes were really, really dumb on my part. Like here, his only play is to go for Quick Attack, unless he's really, really risking it. And I should have gone into my Macadii here, knowing that I can take a hit, but I was just really, really worried for some reason that he was going to go for another move and, predict that switch, if that makes sense, because Quick Attack kills here, but if I preserve Kecleon, I actually live a Quick Attack at that range later on, and that could be, come in clutch, especially when I outspeed so many things, but I'd stupidly let Kecleon go down. So these are two mons that I could have potentially preserved that I ended up not preserving, had I gone into Diancie here. So I go into Diancie, just go for HP Fire because the switch is so obvious, and now what I can do is just go for another HP Fire. If he went into Blaziken, like, it wouldn't have been great, but I couldn't really afford for him not to. Out comes the Gardevoir, and I'm not too sure what to expect from here, so I just go for that. He goes to Him Power, and he has the Him Power Steel, which is great prep on his part. Now, it's looking a little bit tense, I must admit, but we've still got a chance. We've still got Scolipede with the speed boosts, so I'm going to get the first speed boost here, and now this is where the mind games, the late game mind games come in really tricky, because he could Quick Attack here. I could Baton Pass into my QMB, then QMB will be able to take take the Quick Attack on the chin, and then I basically just sweep from there, because at +1 speed I outspeed Scarf Blaziken, and I outspeed this guy. The problem is if he goes for a return plus Quick Attack may kill, or actually no, I think it plus 1 Life Orb Recall will kill. So I had to try and really think about what to do here, and I looked at it. Rock Slide was close, like it was really, really close to killing, but it wasn't going to reliably kill if it didn't have any defense investment. So I was like, okay, I think my best play here is to Baton Pass, unfortunately, and risk it. So I go for the Baton Pass here, go into my Kyurem, and he does fire off the Frustration here. So that's unfortunate. I can take a Quick Attack. Now, this is probably the weirdest play, and this is a play everyone got really confused about when I was doing it. I realized if I stayed in, he Quick Attacked here. So if he Quick Attacked here, I stayed in, I went for the attack, I lose, because then the Blaziken comes in, and then I'm basically screwed from there because I don't have Protect on Scolipede. If I stay in, go for sub potentially, and basically just sack off Kyurem, then I could potentially, then I can go into my Scolipede, I could go for Rock Slide, potentially kill, potentially flinch if he decides to go for Frustration. So that was kind of the plan there, and then I would outspeed Blaziken. So I kind of had to sack off Kyurem here, if that makes sense. So what I do here is I just go for a sub, and then I can get one big hit off. He switches down to Nanos here, is I'm going to go for the Fusion Bolt and be able to take him out. So that's great, but we are going to go down to Life Orb Recoil. So that's really unfortunate. If we didn't have the Life Orb, that would have been game, and we would have been guaranteed champions from there. So that was unfortunate, but not much we can really do. It's one of those, like, situational things, basically. So now I'm out into Scolipede, and I was like, okay, If he doesn't go for quick attack, I just need the rock slide flinch. I need the flinch or hit kill. Unfortunately, we don't kill, and he does break through, and the return is going to leave us on 1. And he does go for the quick attack there. So unfortunately, we do lose this one. But oh my goodness, it was such a tense match and such a fun one. I'm not even mad. Like, it was a good match. There was no hacks. And yeah, we both had a lot of fun with it. And it was like super like high level intense. I know what my mistakes are, and I know where I can bring them on. So overall, I'm a very happy guy. I do apologise that I didn't win, but considering how weird and clunky my draft's been, like I drafted basically lots of different things that I wanted to try, and didn't really think about the synergy and stuff like that, just because I wanted to try them all. And but overall, considering how far I managed to take the team, I am really happy. Yeah, very proud of the team. Love the power, but there's just so many flaws with it, and they just come out whenever you start playing with them, especially the steel type flaw. Like if I had Magneton, it would be the most beautiful thing, but I don't have Magneton. But anyway, I hope you guys did enjoy, and as I said, I apologize that I lost, but you know, someone's got to lose basically, and there were a few mistakes on my end, but ImPledge played, you know, incredibly well. So I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, I would really appreciate it, and I will see you guys over on the DSL, because unfortunately, due to time constraints and stuff like that, I'm not going to be able to go into the next season of the UAL, just because I'm always doing the GPC plus DSL, and also the UAL was just a little bit too much for me, especially when I had work, and yeah, the off-season of the DSL is just like a casual one, so I'm happy to do like 1.5 leagues, but I think like 2 or 3 serious leagues is probably a little bit too much for my time constraints. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys later. Macadii out.